right, those of you on Zoom, if you can hear me, can you just type yes on the screen? Just want to make sure that we are good to go before we get started. If you can hear me, just type yes on the screen. All right, seems like we are good to go. Sorry about the tardiness. Needed to get some technical stuff sorted out. Make sure that we are recording and everything. We are live right now. Also wanted to welcome those of you who have joined us live. I decided to go live with it because this is a free masterclass. So wherever you may be watching live right now, please feel free to share with others to join us tonight. So just want to make sure that we are good on the live. So wherever you may be watching right now, go ahead and invite someone else. Some people are with us on YouTube. Others are with us on Facebook. So feel free to share with your friends. Let them know to come on as well. It's a free masterclass. So they are free to share it. So those of you who are with me right now, please go ahead and share with others as well. All right. We're going to get started right now. We are recording this and it's going to be uploaded on my platform so that those who miss it, who are part of my platform, can get to watch it, or those of you may want to watch the replay. But again, please go ahead and share with others as well this masterclass. All right. Well, welcome to this free masterclass on how to raise capital for your business, for your organization. Some of you have a business, some of you have a non-profit organization, and some of you have a ministry, a church, and maybe other types of organizations as well. And so this masterclass is for everyone. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Dr. Femi Akujenu. I am a John Maxwell certified executive coach. And I also have a platform and a company called High Flyer Mentoring and Coaching. So I'm the CEO of that. I'm also the CEO of Live Zone Television. This year is going to make it 15 years. May of this year is going to make it 15 years of running Live Zone TV. So there's some sort of longevity as far as, doing business here. Like I said, I'm also a John Maxwell certified coach. So I do coaching in the area of personal development, business, marketing, media, and many more. I do have a one-on-one coaching service where those of you who are interested in, learning more about maybe this that we're talking about today, or you need a strategy put in place for your business or your organization or your ministry, I can coach you on that, or even personal development, I can coach you on that. So just wanted to, kind of introduce myself and let you know what I do. I've been doing some seminars over the years, and there's one coming up that we have on January 25. It's our motivational breakfast. We call it Activate. After that, we're going to have Start 2025. So we have Activate 2025, Start 2025, and then the School of Money, how to make, manage, and multiply your money. I also do other seminars like the media mentoring session, where I teach you how to get your business, your book, your ministry, your organization, whatever you do, featured on mainstream media. Having been featured myself in over 15 media platforms, including New York Times and TBN. So, the things I know, share it. Share it with those who care to know. So just a little bit about me. Then also want to mention that I do have a platform that allows you to get access to grants. So from foundations, I sit on a board of an organization. Our budget is about $12 million now. When I joined the board, it was just maybe about less than 500,000, and we've grown over the years. We've gotten a grant of $1 million one time, and we're about to get a second $1 million, by the way. And then we've gotten so many grants over the years. So I know a thing or two about the things I'm talking about. I know that these things are real. So I'm the vice chairman of the board. All right, so it's a non-profit organization. All right, so I think that's a little bit about me. So let's get to why we're here. Many of you, of course, want to raise capital for your business or your non-profit or your ministry, right? You need money, and of course, you need money to do all these things, right? So how do you raise capital for it? How do you get it done? So this is what this masterclass is about. Again, please go ahead and feel free to invite others to join in right now, since it's free. So whether they are registered or not, we love for people to register so we have an idea of who is coming. But whether they are registered or not, they can join in free of charge. Those of you who are watching on Facebook or on YouTube, please feel free to share with others as well. If you know anyone maybe who's supposed to be here, maybe you've invited, maybe, you know, those kind of people, just remind them and tell them to come on board and join with us. All right. So a few things I want to say before I share with you how to raise capital. Now, whenever you talk about capital, right, there's a question I need to ask you. So what do you mean when you say you need capital, right? Many people say, I need capital, I need capital. But what do you mean, right, when you say you need capital? Because truth be told, capital is all around us, and we just need to discover how to access them. Now, some people, when they say they need capital, they're referring to money, right? But I want to let you know that money is not the only capital. There are other types of capital that you need to be mindful of. And if you tap into those ones, you may find out that actually you don't need money for this particular thing. Now, I'm not saying that there may not be times when you actually need money, of course, but there are other types of capital, right? So the first capital you need, whenever you're talking about raising capital, is the capital of ideas, right? You need an idea, right? So because people are focused on money alone, or pretty much, they tend to be blind. Their eyes tend to be blind to other types of capital around them. So the first capital that you need is ideas. And so I want to let you know, if you have some ideas right now, that itself is a capital. Do you know that you can actually sell ideas? So right now, you need money for a particular business, but then you have ideas that has to do with maybe other types of businesses. You can sell those ideas. There are people looking for ideas to buy. So it's all about understanding how to put your ideas together and begin to sell them. If you are somebody who is, talented when it comes to coming up with ideas, you may want to also consider not only even using those ideas to raise money for a particular business, you may even want to consider that business in itself, right? Because selling ideas is a business in itself. Now, for those of us who believe in God, this seminar is not just for Christian people, it's for everyone. We know that God did not use money, right, to create the world. What did he use? Ideas. He had an idea of what he wanted to do, and then he worked on that idea, and here we are in this world, right? But you also know that apart from the money capital, there is human resource capital. There's human resource capital. So sometimes when you're looking for money, you may be neglecting human resource. Do you know that relationship is also a capital, right? There are some good relationships, right? I remember a time when I was partnering with this other lady who had a business, and she reached out to me, first of all, to mentor her and kind of help get the business off the ground and all that. And so in the process of just kind of mentoring, then somehow, we jointly came up with this idea that, maybe we should partner, right? So I have something to offer. She has something to offer. She has the business idea. She has the product, but she doesn't know how to do anything else. Marketing, she doesn't know how to do. Where to get money, nothing, right? So, and I remember when I wanted to put that together, I called someone that I've developed a relationship with. He's a CPA who's been hired by New York City during the 9/11, situation, right, to help rebuild the city. And but around that time, we developed a relationship that's lasting up until today. So I tapped into my relationship capital. So I didn't have to go and pay anyone to help me put together this partnership. I just reached out to him. So my relationship worked out for me in being able to, do what I needed to do. So sometimes what you need money for, you can actually get through a relationship so that you don't have to pay for it. And so for those of you who are in business or doing any kind of thing, anything, right? Non-profit, ministry, you want to make sure that you have good relationships and that you nurture those good relationships, because at some point you're going to need them. I'm thinking, talking about relationship, let me just divert a little bit. I'm thinking about the area of media, right? So this month I'll be in Georgia. In case you're in Georgia, I'll be there. So I'm in Georgia this month, and I'll be doing, some TV interviews. Now, my relationship with those TV stations allows me to be able to call them whenever I'm coming to their area, and to be able to say, hey, I'm going to be in your area, slot me in. And they slot me in. So I have 3 interviews that I'm going to be doing on TV in the Georgia, Augusta, South Carolina area. Relationship brought that about. Now, if you don't have those kind of relationships, then you may have to pay money, right? So relationships are key when it comes to even this capital that we're talking about. Experience is another type of capital that some people are neglecting. You have experience, that's capital. That can help raise money for you. So I just wanted to kind of let you know that there are other types of capital, right? And it's important for you to know that. Now, let me also mention that your business destiny or your organization destiny is not the size of the capital that you start with. Your business organization destiny is not the size of the capital you start with. Now, what do I mean by that? Right? So you hear about some companies, they started with millions of dollars, and yet they folded up, and yet they did not make it. But then you see some other companies, they started with $500, and they have grown to become a major company. So it's not so much about how much you start with. I can use Lives on TV as an example. I know people or organizations literally who had millions of dollars. I started Lives on TV with 0. They started their own thing with millions. They are folded up within a short time. Lives on TV is still here. And I realized that it's not so much how much you start with, is the vision you have and knowing, what to do with what you have. And let me say this to all of you. Please, it's important to know how to work with the little. Not because you are little-minded, not because you don't have a big dream, but whatever you have now, learn how to make that work for you while trying to get more, right? While raising more. But learn how to make it work, at least to get started and, somewhere, right? Very, very important, right? So you need to start somewhere. Let me also ask, what do you need capital for, right? Are you a startup? Are you trying to start something? And you need capital for that? Or are you trying to expand on an existing business? So which means you need capital for expansion, or do you need capital for consolidating rather, or do you need capital to diversify? So it's kind of important for you to know, why do I need capital, right? And it's always good to start from where you are. Start from where you are. You don't wait for a favorable condition, right? You start from where you are. Like they always say, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step, right? So start with a step. Now, number 2, I've told you that the first capital you need is an idea, right? And you can also sell ideas, and you can use that idea that you have to raise some funds. But Number two is personal savings. Personal savings. Now, sometimes when people are starting out a business, they look into their personal savings. I remember a time after I started Lives on TV, and I went through a time when I got close to $50,000 from someone who bought airtime from Lives on TV. And I remember, I had started Lives on TV at a very small space, 5x8 space in the basement of my house. And when I got that money, I'm like, yes, now we can be in business. Let's move out of the basement. And we got our first storefront. Then I said, okay, 25,000 out of that, I'm going to save that, right? But it so happened that what I supposed to be saving, or what I'm supposed to have in savings, I started living off of it. I made some dumb decisions. That's for another time. Anyway, before you know it, within 8 months, $25,000 is gone. And so I said to myself, oh my God, how did I get here? I will never be here again. I think for me, that's when I developed a savings culture. And I want to challenge you, please, 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 have a savings culture. Never spend all your money. Never, never, never. I mean, never spend all your money. If you give me a Christmas card and it has $250 in it, I'm not going to spend it all. 2 years later, I may still go inside that card and find the money there. Some of the money at least. Never spend all your money. So develop a saving culture, right? 10% of your income must always be saved, period. No ifs and buts about that. Get into savings. Have a savings. Anyway, so, after that whole situation with me, squandering, 50,000, well, half of it was used to set up, buy cameras and buy chairs, buy all kinds of stuff to set up a studio. But the 25,000 I was supposed to be saving, after squandering that, then I said, I'll never be here again. So I started saving. I set a goal for the first year of raising or saving 10,000. I didn't do it. I was able to save 5,000, but I was proud of myself, especially because there was no lump sum. It was just from little airtime I was selling. And then, the following year, I decided to double up my goal, and I was able to still meet half of it, but I felt like, yes, we're going somewhere. So from that, I've developed a savings culture. Well, while that was going on, I stumbled upon a place where some people are like, fixing a storefront, another storefront close to my studio. They were fixing it. So I spoke to them. I said, hey, what's going on here? They said, well, it's for rent. I said, I've always wanted to have an event center. So I looked at it. I said, this is not a bad place to have an event center. So I said, okay, can I pay 1 month rent, 1 month security? Because they wanted 1 month rent, 2 months security. I was able to negotiate it into 1 month rent, 1 month security. And I told the guy, I'll be right back. So I went and tapped into the little savings I had, and I was able to start that business, right? So some of you listening to me, you don't have any money right now. Well, if you have a job, if you have income, start saving. Have a savings culture, 10% of your income. At some point, what you're saving eventually will be enough to go and invest. So sometimes when people want to raise capital for something, they have personal savings that they can use, right? Now, some of you don't have that, but please cultivate the habit of savings. Number 3, how do I raise capital for my business or organization? Well, family and friends. Family and friends. Now, depending on the family and friends you have, right? Some of your family and friends are broke people, and some of them, they are well off. Some of them, they can help out here and there, right? Especially when you have a vision and something you're trying to do. Now, if you intend to stay in business long term, you need to surround yourself with the right kind of people. Please, 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 don't surround yourself with broke people, right? Gradually, begin to surround yourself with those who are going forward, those who are trying to, those who are about something, right? Because guess what? Your net worth is going to be determined by your network. Your net worth is going to be determined by your network. Like in the business world, they will say this, that the 7 closest people to you kind of shows you where you are. So let's say the 7 closest people to you are all broke people. It kind of explains why you are broke. But when you begin to replace those people Now, please, I'm not saying that people don't struggle. I'm not saying that, please, and I'm not talking as if I'm some multimillionaire or whatever. That's not the point. The point is this, especially when I'm talking about broke people, I'm not talking about progressive people who are trying to do something, they just don't have the cash right now. Those ones are good. I'm talking about the ones that they broke, they're not trying to, like a seminar like this, if you send them a Zoom link, they don't want to come, they don't care, they don't want to develop themselves, they don't care, they're satisfied the way they are. Please, 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 don't make those people the closest people to you. Start to replace them one by one until all the 7 people around you are people that are progressive, they are, learning and they want to become somebody great and all that kind of stuff. It's so important because your net worth is determined by your network, right? Now, so maybe you do have some family and friends who could help, right? So list the names of those people that are in your network who could potentially contribute towards this capital that you're trying to raise. That's if money is what you need. Sometimes it's not money. When I called my CPA friend, it wasn't money per se I needed, right? Because he knows how to do it. So he could do it for me, right? And there are others I will call for something because they know how to do it, right? So they are my family or friends that I could reach out to for this capital. Remember, capital is not just money. It's other things as well. All right, number 4. Mentors and angel investors. Mentors and angel investors. So sometimes there are mentors in your life who are also, willing to help, when you're trying to do something, right? They've been around you, they've been watching you, they've seen your goal, your vision, they've seen your ethics, they've seen your integrity, they've seen many things. So they may be willing to say, okay, you know what? I believe in what you're doing and I'm going to contribute, right, towards it, right? So you have mentors and then you have angel investors, those who are willing to invest into what you have going on. Now, you always want to position your business in such a way that investors can look at it. Of course, you need to have a business plan and all that. They want to look at it and say, oh, wow, I like this idea. I believe this can work and I'm going to, invest in it. Talking about business and investing, let me also say, I definitely encourage you to watch Shark Tank, right? This is a show. I'm sure pretty much all of us should know about it, but if you don't know about it, it's a show on TV, American TV, called Shark Tank. I love that show because it helps you to be realistic about your business. Because sometimes people may have this idea in their own head, you know what, I'm going to start this thing and the whole world is going to like it. Well, guess what? Have you done any kind of testing to see if people will actually like it? Because sometimes what you think people will like, they may not like, right? So that show kind of will help you develop your sense in terms of looking through whatever you're doing and how to, value it, so to speak, or evaluate it and make sure that this is really something that will work, right? I also love the fact that, when you're watching Shark Tank, you begin to learn that, wow, in the business world, people are not giving you money or investing money just because you're my friend or you're my family member. They invest in money because this business can make it. This business makes sense. I can make money here, right? So if you come up with some lousy business plan that shows that you're going to lose money, nobody in their right mind wants to invest in that, So something to take note of. Number 5, how do I raise capital? Well, you can also raise capital by selling liabilities or assets. Liabilities or assets. What is a liability? A liability is something that's taking money from you, right? It's taking money from you. So whatever you're selling, whatever you have, if it's a liability, you want to make sure get rid of that. Remember I told you that I squandered that 25,000? Well, one of the ways I did was to start driving a car back in the day that I had no business driving. I was paying $700 a month. It was my friend's car. It was like a 2-year-old Toyota Sienna, right? And I was driving that. And I took over the car note, I took over the car insurance. So you're looking at about $700 every month. I was in no place to drive that thing. Sometimes you have to be real with yourself. Don't try to be like the Joneses, driving around in some big car that you have no business driving and it's taking all your money away. Like it wasn't like I was making money with the car. So why am I driving it? Anyway, so that car took $7,000 out of that $25,000 I told you about, right? So look at those liabilities. You want to consider selling those liabilities. That could be a way to raise money for this thing that you're about to do, whether a project or a business and all that kind of stuff, right? Sometimes you look around you and there are things you don't need, right? So those things you don't need could be where you get the capital that you need. Sometimes there are things you don't need, right? So you could sell those off. It could be certain electronics that you don't even need, right? Sell it and raise some capital for this new idea or project that you're working on. Sometimes there may be some assets that you do need to sell, especially if you're sure of what you're about to do. You have a land, you want to sell it to raise the funds for something that you're sure about. You have some stocks, you sell it, to raise the capital that you need for this business, knowing that once this business, begins to take off and stuff, you can always, replace whatever you sell, right? Number 6, cooperatives and thrifts society. Cooperatives and thrifts society. Now, those of you from Africa and from the Caribbean will know a lot about this, especially those thrift societies, what they call susu, right? So the idea is, you get a group of people together and you all contribute a certain amount, whether it's every week, every 2 weeks, every month, and then, somebody will begin to draw from it, right? So like a susu, maybe it's a weekly thing. Everybody's contributing $100. If you have 20 people, $100, 20 people, 2,000. So the first person get their own, and then you keep on paying the $100 every week until everybody has collected their own $2,000. So I know people personally like that who did this, and they used it to get a down payment for a house. They used it to buy something or start something that they needed to do. So they joined cooperatives and thrift societies like that. All right. Number 7, another way to raise funds is to go into partnerships. Go into partnership. Before I talk much about that, let me quickly say, for those who are watching online, you're watching on YouTube, you're watching on Facebook, please go ahead, share this with others. It's free, so feel free to share with other people. And also, like I mentioned earlier, I do have an opportunity for you to be able to access grants, and so stay tuned. I'll be talking to you about that. All right, so number 7, I said go into partnership. Now, what does that mean? There are some people, right? They have money, but they don't have ideas. They have money sitting somewhere, but they don't have ideas. And there are some people, they have ideas, but they don't have money. Those two people can come together, right? So the one with an idea with no money, and then the one who has money who's looking for an idea, those two can come together. So if you are the one with the idea, then you're writing proposals, right? And then you're sharing those proposals with those kind of people who have the money without the ideas. There are some high net worth people. Maybe they have a job, they're making serious money, they have all this money saved up, and they want to be able to put it in an idea, put it in a business. So you're writing a proposal and you're submitting it to such people, and hopefully there's a match. And then if there is a match, then they can, both of you can partner together. I will say this, when it comes to partnership, don't partner in a senseless way. Don't partner with someone that you can hire. I'll give you an example. I remember somebody who started a restaurant, and she needed a driver to help, deliver food. Don't go and partner with a driver to deliver your food. No, that's not the real partnership, right? Because the driver, all they're doing is helping you to deliver food. They're not bringing anything serious to the table. So don't go and give up 50% of your business just because somebody will drive and help you deliver your food. That's nonsense. Don't do that, right? So when it comes to partnership, only partner where they are really bringing something really seriously valuable, and don't partner for something just temporary. Like, let's say you need $1,000 and then you go and bring somebody else to partner with you just because you need $1,000. You're going to overcome your need for $1,000, but don't go and partner with someone just for $1,000. No, that doesn't make sense. They're going to take half of your business or whatever because of $1,000. No, don't do that, right? So, and if you need help on understanding this whole partnership thing, feel free to reach out, right? Feel free to reach out, and I'll be glad to kind of guide you in this process. One of the things I do have is the one-on-one coaching, where for $99, you can sit with me for an hour, either in person, on Zoom, over the phone, and we can map out a plan for your business. We can talk about what you're trying to do, how to do it, how not to do it, that kind of a thing. That's one of the services I provide. A lot of people make mistakes because they plan it all on their own. There's a scripture in the Bible that says that in the multitude of counsel, there is safety. Many people make mistakes because they never discuss with no mentor, no advisor, nothing. They just put all their money into this thing or go and partner with the wrong kind of people, and then they squander everything. So partnership is a good idea when it is a good partnership, right? So please keep that in mind. And then in every partnership, please, I beg you, don't do, what do they call it again? The one that you don't write contracts. It's just word of mouth. Don't do that kind of thing. Gentleman's agreement or something. Don't do that, right? Every partnership, there has to be a legal contract. Do legal contract. Don't just say, you are my friend. Let me tell you something. I don't care if it is Dr. Femi you are doing it with. And you say, oh, I trust you. You are a man of integrity. Still have a contract. I will ask you for a contract. I don't care who you are, right? So you better ask me for a contract, right? Not because I'm going to do anything bad. It's not always about the person, but anything can happen in life. So you want to make sure you're protected. God forbid, somebody you are in contract with dies. Then how do you prove anything? And then the family of those people, that person that dies wants to take everything. Like, hello, you can't take everything. I'm in partnership with this person. Okay, how do we know that? There's a legal document. So please, 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 please get into the habit of having contracts. Don't say this is my sister in Christ, this is my brother in Christ. Stop doing gentleman stuff, right? We're talking about, I want to hope that whatever business you're doing, that you're hoping that one day it will turn into millions. So just because you start with $500 right now, you're not seeing the big deal. What's the big deal? It's just my sister, whatever. What happens when something, blows up and then it turns to millions, and that same sister gets greedy and wants to claim this and claim that and say they own it and that? If there's a contract, then none of those things can happen. Or at least if they try to make it happen, there's a contract and you can, get your way out of this. I hope I'm making sense to you. So please, when you're going to partnership, make sure there are legal contracts. And of course, don't go into contract or into partnership with those people that are not people of integrity. Very important. All right, number 7, how to raise capital for your business, ministry, non-profit organization, government contracts. Did I say number 7? I think that should be number 8. Number 8, government contracts. Government contracts. Or government grants, rather. That's what I meant to say. Government grants. So there are government grants out there. Remember I mentioned that I sit on a board of an organization. We get government grants. So it could be the city has $500,000 to run a program for the next 3 years. That kind of a thing, right? So there are government grants. Now, some of you may be in countries, because I know there are people outside of America listening. Some of you may be in countries where maybe your government don't really give much grants, right? So the next one I'm talking about will be helpful to you. But there are government grants. So you want to look into that in your local government or local community, you want to go to the city and ask them, this is what I'm trying to do. Are there grants that the city has for this? Maybe surprise. The city may have some grants for what you're trying to do, right? So there are government grants. Then number 9, there are grants from foundations and NGOs. There are grants from foundations and NGOs. Now remember, we're trying to raise capital. So sometimes you can raise capital or the money you need for whatever you're trying to do from foundations and NGOs, non-governmental organizations, right? Or non-profit organizations. In America, there are over 165,000 foundations. And all over the world, there are over 220,000 foundations giving money to various causes. Now, the sad thing is this. Many of those foundations don't have a website. Can you imagine? They're giving away money and they don't have a website. So here you are, you're looking for money. There could be an organization in your city, literally a foundation in your city, giving away millions of dollars this year. But you cannot Google them and find them because they don't have a website. Wow. Not only that, only 1% of all those 220,000 organizations or foundations, only 1% of them put out what they call RFP, request for proposals. So RFPs are put out by different organizations when they are ready to fund. So they will put out an RFP. Currently, I have a list of 500 RFPs on my grants website for 2025, right? They're looking to fund and they're asking, please send us your proposal. So they are making requests for your proposal. So I have a list of that. So, but only 1% of them do that. So what do? They are there. People are getting money from them, but how do you find them? So what has happened is there has been some organizations who have come up with a list of them. They've, because they are in this world of grants and non-profit and stuff. So over the years, they've gathered a list of those who are giving the money away, right? And I'm privy to those to that list. And so I've created a list myself of thousands of organizations giving those money away. Now, if you were ever a part of my grant list, well, it's been updated. It's been updated with, just for this year alone, I have 500 RFPs in the education world. So if you are doing anything that has to do with education, maybe literary something for kids, maybe after school, anything education-wise, right? I have 500 of that. I have another 500 of things that have to do with health. So if you're dealing with health, any kind of thing that has to do with health, there is also information and communication. There is also, I'm trying to remember everything. I mean, it's a whole lot of them, different categories on our platform right now, right? I have a platform. And they have RFPs in those various sectors, right? Arts and culture. So you need money for drama, for singing, for choir, for anything that has to do with arts, right? Dancing, all those things, right? Any kind of arts that you have, whether it's in your church, in your ministry, your non-profit organization. So they're all categorized there and they've been uploaded in our platform. So if you have interest in that, you can join that platform and be able to get access. All right, so we have the grant that's come from foundations. That's another way to raise funds for your business. The next one is number 10, gratuities and seasonal bonuses and benefits. Gratuities and seasonal bonuses and benefits. So for example, you got a retirement benefit or a retirement package. Some people, when they retire, they may get a lump sum, right? So that's something you can use towards a business, or capital as a capital for whatever you're trying to do. Sometimes it could be bonuses when you have a plan for it. Years ago I used to throw newspapers. I used to go from house to house delivering newspapers, and whenever it's Christmas time, we're always looking forward to that. Especially if you're in a rich neighborhood. Oh my, that Christmas time you may have like 5,000, 4,000, 2,000, So if let's say you're trying to start something, you say, oh, it's Christmas time. Let me try and raise a little capital from this and use it to get started with whatever I'm trying to do, right? So there are some seasonal bonuses like that that you can also use. Maybe you have a job where at the end of the year they give you bonuses, right? So if you had planned that, then you could say, okay, the bonus I'm going to get this time, maybe if you work for Goldman Sachs or something, and they give you thousands of dollars as a bonus, then you can use that, right, to start a business or to expand your business. So these are ways to raise capital. All right. Number 11, trade by barter. Trade by barter. So who are the people that have what I need and need what I have? One of the secrets of Lives on TV over the years, especially in those beginning days, is this: trade by barter. Because, I started Lives on TV with no money, so I didn't have money to pay nothing. So I had to do this trade by barter. So we need a streaming service. They need marketing. Okay, I will market you, you stream me. So they stream me, I market them, and we develop a relationship. So now I don't have to pay cash, right, for that. Or else they would have charged me hundreds of dollars every month. So we're still able to do what we needed to do by trade by barter. Oh, somebody else says, okay, well, you need to pay us to put your contents on our network. And I'm saying, okay, how about we partner? How about we barter, right? You carry our content and then we promote your cable box. So win-win. So no money is exchanged. And we're able to continue to grow and do what we need to do, right? So you want to look into that, right? Who needs what you have, right? And have what you need so that both of you can barter. As a matter of fact, Lives on TV started because of a bartering. It was this guy who owned a newspaper company who saw my flyer, my board, actually my signboard at that time, and wanted his website redesigned for him. And he saw that I did that. And so we met. He was proposing a trade by barter. He was saying, hey, redo my website for me, and then I'll allow you to put your ads in my newspaper. So that's what we went to talk about. And in the process, I found out he has some TV channel. He told me about it, and I proposed at first, supplying a Christian channel to him, or and for us to work together, whatever. I realized that wasn't really a good idea, and boom, I went to the cable network directly, and the rest was history. Right? Some other time you can hear the full story, but it was trade by barter. At least him wanting to do that led to that, right? So trade by barter, look into that. It's not every time that's money you need. Sometimes, hey, you have what I need what you have. Let's exchange. Now, trade by barter is not partnership. It's just trade by barter, right? You don't have to become partners. You can just exchange, right? I won't charge you, you won't charge me. That's it, right? All right, number 12. Another way to raise capital for your business is using other people's money. Other people's money. And then also, that's what they call OPM. And then there's also other people's time, right? So you can raise capital that way. And then you can give people a percentage of the profit as you're making profit. I remember this guy who, because of his integrity, he was able to get thousands of acres of land. Well, he didn't own it yet, but it was given to him as, okay, go and, see if you could sell them, and I give you up till this time for you to pay me for this land so that it can actually now become yours. So what did he do? Because of integrity anyway, because of his integrity, they say, okay, here's 1,000 acres of land. We put it in your hands. So now he now started finding buyers to buy the land. And as they are buying the land, of course, he's making his own profit and he's paying off. Before you know it, he paid off everything, right? Whatever is left is his own, right? So that's a way to do business sometimes, where you are using other people's money. So what's the other people's money in this case? The people that are buying land from him. So he's selling the land, making his own profit, and from them buying, he's then paying off. So he's using other people's money to raise the money to pay off the original owner of the land. Now, integrity is key in this case. Integrity itself, a good name. By the way, we talk about different types of capital. A good name is another type of capital. Please, I beg you, create a good name. Don't take advantage of people. Don't do business and mess up things and then don't care just because you know how to do that. Don't do that. Be a person of integrity so that people can say, oh, you? Don't worry. I trust you. I can give you the product. Go ahead and sell it. I know the product is safe in your hands. Your integrity will speak for you when you need it. So if you don't already have that, begin that now. I remember a pastor friend of mine who did not have integrity in the way he did his business. Sometimes he will overpromise and underdeliver. So, and I remember having a conversation with him. I said, I want to teach you what to do. First of all, please underpromise, then overdeliver. Oh, so when can you deliver the flyers to me? Even though you think you can do it in 2 days, tell them 4 days. Give yourself room in case something goes wrong, so that they agree, okay, no problem, 4 days. But then by 2 days, you are ready, and you can call them and say, hey, I know I told you 4 days, but I'm actually ready now. I could deliver it to you anytime. And then they go like, wow, you even did better than you said. You see, you're building a good reputation. But in his own case, he may be well-meaning, but he's cutting himself short by over-promising. And then he ends up not being able to fulfill his obligation. And then he started getting bad names. I said, please, stop all that, right? And then I also told him about, sometimes you have to collect 50% deposit so that you're able to do whatever you need to do and deliver on time. And, so I gave him some advice. And he took it, and his reputation started changing in the positive direction, right? Integrity, please, please, please. If you don't have it now, start building integrity. Even people that thought they don't want to do business with you, when they start saying that, wow, you've turned a new leaf, you are a person of integrity, your people start recommending you, and even if others say, but this person is not a person of integrity. Well, I think they have changed. They are doing something different, right? Have a good name, because a good name is a capital that you're going to need. All right. Number 13, insurance payoffs. Insurance payoff. So how do you raise capital? Sometimes, for whatever reason, there may be an insurance payoff, right? So just keep that in mind. There's some, I have this kind of policy, right? If any lump sum comes into my hands, especially something I wasn't expecting, right? Well, I wasn't expecting it anyway. So don't think, let's go shopping now. No. Use it for something positive. That could be a capital for something you're trying to do. Or save it for now until you have an idea of what you do with it, right? What you're going to invest it in. Don't say, oh my God, I just got, some unexpected money. Let's go shopping. Please, 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 please. Let's not do that, right? Let's not do that. So insurance payoff is something you can use. So that was number 13. Number 14, buy an existing business without money. Buy an existing business without money. That's what they call acquisition, right? So in the business world, they do this. Sometimes they look for a business that is sick or a business that is going bankrupt. and then they go and take over that business without money. Can you imagine this? They look for a business that's about to go belly under, and they negotiate something and say, okay, we won't put money into this, but we're gonna, they have a way to just take over. And then they turn everything over, and now the business is yours. You took over an existing business that's about to go bankrupt. Now, they're about to go bankrupt, not necessarily because the business is a bad business idea, but it may just not be run well. They don't know what they're doing, that kind of a thing, right? So, in the case where that's the case, then it's worth then acquiring it, right? But if it's a business that, forget it, this is a failing business, or this is not something that, there are some things that are like going away, right? In the days of Blockbuster, that type of way of doing business was going away. Netflix came, and Netflix knows that, and they took over, right? So not that an industry that is dying. It may be a booming industry. It's just that these people, they don't know what they're doing. So you could go and take over without a dime. That's a way that people raise capital. Number 15, sell ideas. Well, I kind of touched on this before, but apart from the fact that ideas are out there and you have it, sell it, right? Number 16, position yourself for a miracle with your seed. Especially those of us who believe in the Bible and believe in the Word of God, givers never lack, right? Position yourself for a miracle with your seed. Now, let's bring some balance to that, because sometimes, right, especially for those of us in church, sometimes we've taught people give, and give your tithes, give your offering, and that's good, that's important. But what do they do with the 90% remaining? So after they give the tithe, then what do they do with the 90% remaining? What you do with the 90% is key, right? That's where financial intelligence is important. Financial planning is important. Financial discipline is important. And I teach on this, especially during the School of Money, right? In March, we'll be having that. So just stay tuned when I make that announcement so you can join. But it's important that they know what to do with the other 90%. And also, when you look at many of God's promises, it has to do with the work of our hands. So the question is, what is the work of your hands? What are you doing, right? What do you have for God to bless? What have you started for God to bless? So, yes, I've paid my tithe. Now, as you have paid your tithe, now, what are you doing? What are you working on? What project are you working on so that God can bless this thing, right? So, position yourself for a miracle with your seed. Number 17, marketing of products. So that's another way to raise capital. So you find a product that you believe in, right? And then you take those products and you begin to market them. I remember when I released something called Deliver Me, which is a self-deliverance kit. And I remember taking it to a few stores and leaving it there. So they will market it for me. They will sell it for me. They'll take their own cut and give me my own cut, right? So sometimes looking for products that they can give it to you to market for them. In some cases, they may not even, quote unquote, give it to you, but you are helping to market it and you get your own share, your own percentage. Maybe you are sending people towards that product, buying that product, and then you are getting some money. Some people literally raise a lot of money that way. Some people even make that a living, right? They make marketing different products a living. They find products they believe in. They may even get some kind of link, right? They may become affiliates and stuff. So that way, as they're marketing that product and people are buying, they're getting their own share. There are people who actually make a serious living out of that. So marketing of products could be a way for you to raise some capital. Talking about that, some of the things I do, if you decide you want to get a group of people together, you want to get a group of 50 and have me come and teach them, and then we can negotiate, right? Hey, how much will you give me out of all these 50 people? I'm going to get them together, and I'm going to come to your place and teach them, and then we can negotiate, right? Where maybe I normally charge $49 per person, maybe I'm only charging $35 and you're keeping the remaining $14 or something, right? So that's just an idea, marketing, right? Marketing of products. Number 18, you can also, of course, go through the loan route, loan and bank facilities. That's also another way to raise funds. But I'll say this, please try not to get a loan to start a business unless you have really tested this business, you are sure. Please, please, please. Very important, because if you go get a loan thinking something is going to work and it went belly under, oh my God, now you are stuck with all this money. So please don't rush to a loan. It's one of the options, but don't be rushing to going after a loan for something you have not tested. You have not done proper research and all that stuff. Please, please, please. So important. Don't find yourself in debt, just because somebody is selling it to you. Let me also say this. Sometimes those who are in a business and they tell you, come and join, come and join, come and join, especially if they have something to also make from you joining, please do your research very well. Because sometimes even they who is in the business, they are not making money, or they're struggling with this thing, but they are calling you, come and join, come and join, come and join. And they didn't tell you the full truth. And then you get there, you joined, and who knows how much you pay to join. Then for you to find out, oh, they've been struggling all along. Why did you bring me to a struggling thing? And now all of you are struggling. So be very careful when people are telling you to come and join something. Sometimes they're not telling you the full truth. Sometimes even what they are calling you to join, they're not making anything. And you're thinking they're making something, right? So do your research well, right? At the end of the day, you have to think for you. Do your research well before you get into anything. All right, number 19. Another way is to sell shares. So there are some businesses they will start, it will be a one-man business, right? Then they grow, and as they grow, they decide, you know what, let's go public, right? And start selling shares. So when the company goes public like that, it's no longer just their own company. Now they're selling a portion of their business to the public, and then boom, they raise all this money. I remember I used to work for Martha Stewart, and I was there when she went public and she became a billionaire. Then after that, she got into some trouble and all that kind of stuff. But I was there when that happened. So it's also one of the ways people raise capital, especially they want to expand it beyond what is being as a one-man business. All right. The next one is number 20, seek counsel. Seek counsel, financial advisors or mentors. Even with all that I've said, maybe you still feel like, I need more information. Book a one-on-one coaching with me, right? Let's make it happen. Let's talk and look at your particular situation and see what strategy that we can come up with. All right, those are the 20 points I wanted to share with you, but let me quickly add on a few other ones. Intellectual property is also another way. So if you have a patent, trademark, or proprietary technology, you can leverage on that for loans, or you can even license it for a revenue, right? So intellectual property, anything that is yours, maybe you've written a book or stuff like that, right? That's also another way to raise funds. If you develop a technology, an app or something like that, you can leverage on that either to sell it or license it or get money. Now, I did this seminar called Take Off, and I talked a lot about licensing stuff, how you can license, and we'll do that at some point this year. So be on the lookout for that, how you can license your ideas. Some people are making money. Do you know that there's this emoji, like the smiling emoji? Somebody is rich off of that emoji. Yeah, that's an emoji that's been licensed, and oh my God, somebody is a multi-millionaire for that. So it's amazing the things that you could license out and sell. So we can talk about that during that seminar. Another thing you can leverage on in raising capital is social media, your social media following. So if you have a strong online presence, right, that can be an asset. So sometimes you could do some crowdfunding through those platforms. I know people who have strong social media following, and they be able to get capital either to do something or to help people, right? Maybe they want to help a particular individual or get involved in a particular cause. They reach out to their social media following and able to raise 20,000 to help rebuild somebody's house that burned down or something, right? Whether in another country or something, right? Things like that. So your social media following can also be tapped into stuff like this, get funds and raise capital. Physical assets for sure. Maybe you have some office equipment, you have some real estate, you can use it as a collateral for loans, or you can, get some finances from some asset-based lenders. Another one is supplier relationship, right? If you have strong relationships with suppliers, you can leverage on that to negotiate better payment terms, right? And access additional capital from those suppliers. I remember having to contact one of those some years ago. I was selling some durable medical equipment, and I was able to kind of get, I think, $5,000 worth of product without making a payment, right? So now mine is just to sell and then pay. So again, that's why your integrity is important. So, and you have to build it. I mean, if you're in business, you intend to be in business, please build your integrity. Loyalty programs are also good. A well-established loyalty or reward program can be monetized or used to create a subscription model that generates recurring income. All right, so I'm going to stop there. If you have any question, please feel free to type it on Zoom, and I'll be glad to answer those questions. Now, those of you who are watching on YouTube and Facebook, I really cannot access that right now, and plus you didn't register. So the people that register are my main focus right now during this Q&A. So how can I obtain your list of grants? So you can obtain the list of grants. Go to highflyermentoring.com. 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 I'll send the link out to everyone. highflyermentoring.com. You can access the list of grants that way. So quickly, let me also repeat a couple of announcements. One on January 25. 2025 from 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. 9:30 a.m. we'll get a little continental breakfast, and then 10 o'clock we go into teaching. I'll be doing the Activate 2021 motivational breakfast. Those who sign up, whether you attend in person, you attend on Zoom or on demand, as long as you sign up, which means you have to pay money, $29, I will give you 500 lists of RFPs. I'm doing that. I'm doing that. I decided to do that, right? So it will be both on site and on Zoom. On site is in Queens, New York, St. Albans, Queens, New York, at Live Zone TV Studios. We'll be having that there. So again, you don't necessarily have to be in the building. You can also join remotely, or you can even join on demand. But as long as you register for it, then you'll be able to get the list. Now, you can sign up for it by going to femiakogeno.com. femiakogeno.com. So all of you who are on Zoom, I'll be sending you, yes, there are healthcare RFPs. As a matter of fact, I have over 500 healthcare RFPs as well. So now I got a word that our website is down. I spoke to the web designer, and he said that there's something about the security, something. So we'll be working on it tomorrow. But once that is taken care of tomorrow, you can go to femiakogeno.com and then just go under events, and you can register, or you see it on top there. You can register for Activate 2025 Motivational Breakfast. Now, for those of you who are looking for a whole list of grants and stuff, so I'll suggest both, right? Register for that, get some RFPs, and then also join my platform. So highflyermentoring.com. So when you go to highflyermentoring.com, then you choose, right? I think there's a free one. You don't get anything from that. No grants whatsoever. Then there's a platform, the $29.99 platform. You get list of grants, some list of grants, and then the main grants platform is where you really get everything. So you get a few in the other, platform, the $29.99 platform, but the $49 a month platform is where you get everything I've talked about here. Now, so there's the proposal writing that I did. So I did a proposal writing seminar. It is available on demand right now. And that too you can pay for through the Femi Akogeno. So once tomorrow the website is back up, then you can go to femiakogeno.com. But you can also email me. So those of you got my email about the Zoom link, you can send me an email and let me know what you need, and then I'll point you towards the right direction. If you want to book a one-on-one, I'll tell you how to do that. If you want to get the list of grants, if you want to register, everything I've mentioned, whatever you want to do, you just tell me and I'll send you the link. But the website should be back up tomorrow. I apologize for that. And then you'll be able to, on the website, Femi Akogeno, you'll be able to register for the motivational breakfast where I'm giving away 500 lists. Now, some of you may not want to sign up for the grants platform, $49 a month, where you continue to have access to lists, a bigger list, thousands of grants, right? The 500 that I'll give you during the breakfast is just 500, but I have thousands of them, and it's being added to regularly. So if you are interested in that, then you can join the grants platform, and then you can get a list of thousands of grants, right? If you're interested in one-on-one coaching to kind of have a strategy, that too, just reach out to me. Also, if you want to get the proposal writing, videos, including some materials. So they all come with materials, right? By the way, if you also attend Activate 2025 Motivational Breakfast on January 25, not only do you get the 500 grants that I'm talking about, RFPs, but also you're going to get letter of inquiry and sample proposals. So I'm giving away sample proposals as well. So it's too loaded to be charging $29, but I love to help people. So you'll be getting sample proposals, and you also get letter of inquiry. Now, what is a letter of inquiry? Sometimes some foundations don't want you to send the proposal yet. They want you to send a letter of inquiry first, and then they will now tell you, go ahead and submit a proposal. And I'll also be telling you, different ways that people organizations are accepting proposals now. It's not all paper proposals anymore. Some of them have created a website where you can literally answer questions, and those questions are the way you send your proposal. Answers to those questions are the way you do your proposal. So the website had been open all along. It's just that it went down today or yesterday. I was informed yesterday, and I spoke to my web designer today, and he told me what the issue is, and I will fix it tomorrow. So I'm hoping for that. But all along, it's been open. So I'll send you a bunch of lists of links so that whatever you need to do, you can do it that way. All right. But definitely, like I mentioned before, I sit on a board. I'm the vice chairman of the board, and we get grants. Some grants could be just 5,000, and other grants could be, I think I just lost video, but we're about to go off anyway. So I hope you guys can still hear me on Zoom, even though we lost the audio. The video rather. So, wait. Okay. So we Well, I guess I'm going to wrap it up. I think I've said really everything I need to say. If you have questions, of course, feel free to reach out, and I'll be glad to answer all your questions. All right. Thank you for joining this masterclass. And please feel free to share this video with others. Those of you who have watched on YouTube and on Facebook, share this with others so that they too can make use of all this information. I hope you enjoyed it, and looking forward to talking to you guys later. Thank you. Take care now.